All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk with your boy JT. I pray all is well with everybody as we give the Most High all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise and worship. I know we got a hot topic here now. My title now says Women in Menopause, or women going through their menstrual cycle, PMS. Ladies, let me say this off top. This video is not to make fun of you in no kind of way. I had a good question about doing this video, and I know this is a touchy subject for a lot of women. A lot of men may laugh at me and what I'm doing in this video, but let me tell you something. First of all, let me give a shout out to you, Sister Helen. And no, I'm not ashamed to do a video like this. I've done so many videos about, I mean, you name it, masturbating, abortion. I mean, it's hard to miss me on a topic because it's the main stuff that we go through in this life that people want to skip over. In reality, we all are dealing with it. Now, for a man, I can't tell you what menopause feel like or what a PMS feel like and none of that because I'm not a woman. But Sister Helen, you asked me from a man's point of view, do I mind speaking on this, especially about a godly woman and how a godly man is, you know, like you say, husbands and wives, godly people should handle this. And I'm pretty sure every man that's looking at this video have been with a woman or is with a woman right now who have experienced menopause or going through menopause. And there's nothing funny about this. So, sister, let me say that again off top. No, I'm not ashamed. I don't care what the subject is, what the topic is. I don't make fun of women like that. And I'm gonna say some things in here from a godly man point of view, versus some fool on camera making jokes and fun of a woman that's going through menopause. Now, I can speak from my own personal experience on this. I'm single now, but I have dealt with women who was going through menopause. Like you say, PMS, and we know it is a difference. But it's nothing easy for the women. When you look at the mood swings, the sweating, the getting hot or cold, the attitudes, the weight gain, the depression that some women go through, and then even some women start growing facial hair, you know, when they menopause. And I mean, you name it, it's not easy for y'all. And my heart goes out to you. But, Sister Helen, you asked me, is menopause even spoken of in the Bible? And yes, it is. As a matter of fact, I have to go back to Abraham and Sarah on that right there. It's right there, but a lot of people don't see it. They really don't. And when you think about menopause, some women catch it early. I even know women that's 27, 28, not even 30 yet, who are menopausing. Then, you know, some 40 and up. Some don't get it till they 52. You know, some have went through it and they happy it's over with. It just depends on, you know, who your everybody is different. But it hit some women in their 20s, in their 30s. I was talking to my mom about this a long time ago. And I was telling my mom if she was menopausing, I never even knew it. Because she never showed those symptoms. She just, you know, give it over to the Most High. So when you have a godly woman don't want her husband to catch hell like that. Not saying that every day gonna be peaches and cream, but a godly woman will pray, talk it out, will work it out and get through that in any kind of way they got to do it. They do it as husband and wives. You know, let's just keep it real. Everybody's not husband and wife. There's a lot of people that's shacking up with each other that's been together so long. Some folk done been together longer than they was before they married, and they got married and got divorced. But it's the majority of people now are shacking up. But a godly woman handle it totally different than what a foolish woman would do. You know, and I'm just being real. And I'm talking about, like I say, what I have went through with it, and with who I was with at the times I was with. And I see how it is for. I'm gonna just put it to you like this. One woman I was with, I never even really knew she was on it. That's how good she went through it. But then I could also say I was with a woman that acted a fool on it. Come home, just cuss you out for no reason, throwing stuff, aggravated. I mean, you name it. You catch hell as the man, but you ain't catching more hell than that woman that's going through with it. So we'll never know how it feel to be a woman. Just like a woman ain't gonna never know how it feel to be a man, even though you got men trying to be women now and women trying to be men. We see how messed up things are in this world, you know. But some women, it don't bother them as much, you know, as the next woman. Most women, they get tired and just want to sleep all the time, you know. Even some women, their hair will start turning gray. I know I ain't telling the ladies nothing that y'all don't know, but there might be some men looking at this video and they might not be, you know, understanding what's going on, you know. It's not what we know that hurt us, it's what we don't know. And when you don't communicate with each other, that's a big problem. But then you wonder why your lady hormones is jumping and she flipping out this minute. Then the next day you come home, everything might be just all good. But we all know, fellas, when the woman of the house is not feeling good, the whole house is in trouble. As a matter of fact, we don't even want to go in that room when the woman is going through. What you do, you send your love, you send that youngest one and go, baby, go in there and check on your mama. She all right? Is she smiling? Is she talking? She still looking crazy? All right, thank you for letting me know. Go on back in your room and play. Y'all know I'm keeping it real in this video. When the woman of the house is messed up, the whole house is not going to function right. And what do, fellas? We try to get the hell out. We try to find somewhere to go. But see, running away all the time is not the right thing to do. You know, because the Bible tells us that we supposed to love through it all. I know it's hard, but that's the reason why we all need one of those fruit of the spirits that's very important is patience. Because to me, I always tell people, man, especially if I'm talking to a woman about a subject like this, I tell a woman, your body is so precious. The way the Most High designed it, man, to me, that's one of the most beautiful things is when you look at the creation of a woman's body. You look at the Most High creation, period, everything the Most High created, but when he designed a woman's body, man, I mean, that's awesome. But the body goes through so much. That's why your body is a temple. But I tell women all the time, thank Adam and Eve, especially Adam. But really thank Eve also, you know, because if it wasn't for the sin in the garden, ladies, y'all would have had a baby. Y'all would have went through childbirth with so much ease. You wouldn't even been in pain. We wouldn't even be sitting there talking about menopause and PMSing. But since sin took over, I'm going to say this like this. If every woman, every woman that growed up that's into a woman now, and that's continuing to live and get older and older, if you have not died, you're going to go through menopause. You're going to go through PMS. That's just something that you can't run from. Well, let me take that back, because now they got all these pills and drugs out now. Everything that the Most High created, they got something now to stop it in so many ways. And this is why you got to be careful with all these new drugs and medicines they got out now that they want to experiment with you on and all this stuff. It will kill you if you're not careful. It will. But as I'm thinking about this, menopause for a female it really is a transition. It's a biological change. Just like when we grew up, man, we went through puberty and it went away. Menopause will go away. It's going to go away. But you don't know when. Some women say mine went away in 2 years, or mine took longer than that, or such and such. Everybody's different, like I say. But once again, a godly woman, to answer your question, Sister Helen, a godly woman with a real close relationship with the Most High, they stay in prayer. They don't want to be no kind of problem at all to their husband. And their husband, as a godly man, will be very understanding. he will be there. The problem with most men is we don't want to show no type of emotion. We want to act hard all the time. We what you crying for? You know, we try to play that hard role all the time. But once we learn how to be understanding, you know, sometimes you just got to go that extra mile. Baby, you need me to do anything for you. Instead of being more problem on top of a problem that like most men I know gonna do, we need to be more caring, more loving, and be like, I'm cooking today. You know, I already ran your bad water. The stuff that you need to be doing anyway. It shouldn't be where when your woman got to get on her period, menstrual cycle, or PMSing for you to want to start acting caring and all that. This is stuff we supposed to do 24/7. Because that woman, that wife, she knows that, well, baby, I'm your helpmeet. And I know by me being your helpmeet, I'm not going to try to put nothing on you that you don't need to be dealing with. But just bear with me. Be understanding with me. A lot of us men, we got a problem with that. So many women think their husband is a mind reader. I have to make this point. And stop thinking all the time that your husband know what's wrong with you. Because I'm going to tell you something. We'll never know a woman. I can spend the rest of this life trying to figure out a woman, and I never will. Because if I could do that, man, you might well call me the Most High. And I'm not the Most High. I'm just making a joke with that. But trying to figure out a woman, trying to read a woman's mind all the time. We always say, baby, I know you. We really don't know nothing. We know a little something, but a woman changes so much almost every other day. You might be thinking that she cool and something is seriously wrong with her. Because the way a woman can act can really throw us off as what's really wrong with her. So I'm going to say this again, ladies, out of love. Don't always think that your husband is a mind reader. He don't automatically know what's wrong with you all the time. Especially if he done had a bad day. He done went through some stuff. Man, we go through some stuff too. We ain't going through what y'all going through in that sense, but we go through some stuff, man, as we get old and old. Our bodies change too. Now, self-control is really what I'm talking about in this video. When a woman has self-control, the Bible teaches us to be in self-control. But you can't do that without the Most High. When you understand that I need self-control, then, like I say, it makes things go a whole lot easier. See, a lot of women, they already know they are in menopause because, so I don't know about y'all fellas, but like I said, I'm single now, but when I was in my last relationship, past relationships, I studied my woman. I paid very close attention. If you ain't been having no cycle in the whole year, then something up. That's why women know they are in menopause, because they can go a whole year without being on their cycle. That's why we'll think she must be pregnant, man. And that ain't even the case all the time. When menopause, man, I was telling somebody this the other day, when menopause steps in for a woman, man, you just look out, it's finna be a different ball game. It's finna be a different ball game. But I could tell from the actions, the emotions, that something is different. But like I say, when you got a woman that communicate with you, or you and your husband is communicating with you, husband and wife is communicating, that's different, because she gonna let him know, babe, I'm going through this. Bear with me. I'm not feeling good. I'm gonna go to bed early. I know you want some sex, but you're gonna have to keep it in your pants tonight. I'm not feeling that. And that's probably the hardest thing for us as men to deal with. And I know it ain't right to say this, but I tell men, hey, you got the right hand fellowship. You got two right there. If it got to come down to that, and that ain't right to tell people, because masturbating ain't even right to do. But let's just keep it real in this video. How many men gonna go a long time, don't even go 3 days, a week, without having sex? So as men, is our body, when we craving that sex is a want and a need. And when we going through, man, we ain't gonna, I prayed last night, or man, you can pray all you want. Let me tell you something, the flesh, How many times, men, if you just be honest in this video, how many times have you prayed and you still masturbated that same night or a couple hours later? The old lady say, man, I can't do nothing tonight. I'm on my period, or I'm not feeling it. And you trying your best not to go out and sin and having commit adultery or something. So you find yourself, Lord, forgive me for I've been playing with myself again. Lord, forgive me for looking at pornography. So I'm talking about stuff that people want to overlook, but in reality, people know what I be talking about in these videos they deal with. We all deal with. Now, got that part out the way, Sister Helen, because I'm looking at your email. Like I said, now, according to the Bible, we have to go back to Abraham and Sarah. That's the first place that menopause is mentioned. You got to go back, and I'm going to just tell you this one scripture. When you go to Genesis, go to chapter 18 and verse 11. Because that's when the Most High promised Abraham and Sarah a son, but they wanted to get ahead of the Most High. And we know the story on Abram and Sarah, Sarai, but we know their name was changed to Abraham and Sarah. But we know how old they were. And in Genesis 18 and 11, it talks about how Abraham and Sarah were old. They was old. They was in old age. And it says that it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Now, when you look at that part, the manner of women, that's menopause. That's what menopause is right there in that scripture. That's the first place it's mentioned in the Bible. And that's why Sarah laughed, because she knew she was too old to get pregnant. But that go to show you what the Most High say is going to happen regardless. See, the Most High already promised them the promised child. But for some reason, Sarah just couldn't get pregnant all those times. They tried. Abraham tried. I ain't going to say his soldiers wasn't marching, because I don't really know all the detail. The Bible didn't go into detail about that. But for some reason, Sarah just couldn't get pregnant. I don't know if that was on her end or on Abraham's end. I'm just being honest. But she knew she was just past the age of having children. But look at what she does. That's how all the mess got started. So instead of waiting and waiting, they got tired of waiting. She tells Abraham to go have sex and sleep with what's her name? Hagar. The concubine, I like to say, because Abraham was married. And then they had Ishmael, which caused a whole lot of confusion, but the Most High still blessed. So they tried to get ahead of God and messed up some stuff. That's why you had that family battle. But we've already talked about that in other videos, but just kind of throwing that in there, that's how all that came about. Because Sarah had thought, I can't have no kids. But now, this is what the danger is. Once again, I'm going to say this again. They got so many kinds of drugs, medicines out here now to prevent a lot of things. They got things out now to stop a woman from going through menopause. Just like if you want to really see that other video I did, sister, look at that video I did on birth control pills. Man, when you watch that video and look at this video, then you're going to feel what I'm saying. But they got something out for menopause now. I think it's called hormone replacement therapy. Or HRT, let's just say it like that. Hormone replacement therapy. Now, you just listen to what it says. Replacement therapy. Just like birth control. To try to control. See what I'm saying? Now, I don't know too many women that's taking this, but I know a few that I have talked to a while back. And they was talking about how it really work. But sometimes the side effects make them feel kind of weird and all that stuff. But when you look at Sarah gave birth after menopause. That's why I say she laughed. She made that little statement. That's why Isaac name means laughter. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Isaac name means laughter because of what Sarah done when She just made a kind of joke with like, really, Lord, up in my old age, I'm gonna have a child. Yeah, right. Yeah, really, really. In other words, really. Yeah, I'm gonna laugh at that one. But that's why Isaac's name means laughter. You know, just last year, it was a woman on here I had a conversation with, but then she asked me, once again, I'm not ashamed or scared to talk about stuff like this. I don't care what the topic is, once again. But she was telling me about how she didn't want to get old. What she was really doing was from her email also, she was saying she was just destroying her body. Because she was doing all this stuff to try to keep herself looking young, not wanting to get old. But in reality, if you're going to keep living, you're going to get old. But she said, but JT, I don't want to lose my body. I don't want them wrinkles in my body. I don't want them stretch marks. I don't want to go through them body aches. I say, but you know what, sister? It's a blessing in getting old. Then you see older women who have really taken care of their body and they up in age and they look good and they feel good about themselves. One of the other biggest blessings I see is when I go deal with the seniors over here in West Dallas, in the multi-purpose center building. I'm talking about women that's 80, 85, one lady at 90, some 70 in their 70s. You know, women that's 60 and up. Beautiful hair. Beautiful hair. And bodies in good shape because they took care of themselves. And they was telling me how they thought it was a blessing to get older. So they eat right. I mean, they don't punish their body. They have prayer. I mean, there's so much stuff that we can do in this life that we don't do. But getting old is a blessing. It's when you done lived your life, you done saw your children grow up, their children, your grandchildren grow up, and you still walking, and it's a blessing. You still able to get out, move around, and drive, man, that's a blessing. I applaud my granddaddy right now at 90 years old. 90 years old. Still kicking hard, strong. So when I think about when a woman is going through these changes, us as men really have to be patient and lovable. A lot of women, they really don't mean to take their frustration out on their husband, but sometimes that's just the way it come out. I always tell ladies, and I'm going to say this in this video, it's sad enough you already got to deal with PMS. That is no joke. But then you got to look forward to menopause also. That ain't no joke. So I'm going to make a joke with this saying right here. If you got PMS going on and you looking forward to menopause, why in the hell you going to go get a jacked up man who can't do nothing for you, who takes you down when you already got so much? See, I'm just talking about menopause and PMS. I ain't talking about the other stuff you go through in your life. Folks on your job. Family ain't acting right. You got a whole lot of problems on top of problems. So why add extra problems? Because a fool that you get with as a man, when you start going through that, he gonna down you harder than ever. If you cussing him out, he gonna cuss you right back out. He's not gonna be so much of caring while you going through your menopause or PMS. But a godly man, once again, the Bible calls us to love at all times. The Most High told us, my grace is sufficient. I mean, that grace will get you through, I don't care what it is you're going through in this life. See, I was talking to this lady, and she was talking about how she can't have kids, but she wants some more kids. But she went through so many abortions that her body is just total. She said, I'm no longer fertile, and I'm unable to have children. And I thought about that, and I thought about how we make our life so much harder when we knock our temple down, and the blessings that we truly miss out on. So a lot of these young women off in this porn and prostitute and all this stuff, they're going to wish one day that they never put their body through that stuff. Or having all these abortions they're going to wish that they never put their body through that stuff, because as you get older, your body changes, men and women. Your women especially, your body changes so much. Some women I know right now, they in so much pain, man, from what they done in their earlier ages in life. And it's sad. But even though a woman is no longer fertile and unable to have children, you still see where some women had children at a late age. I know this woman right now, 55 years old, heading towards 60, who thought she couldn't get pregnant, and she did. It was by her husband, though. She was like, that's got to be a miracle from the Most High, because ain't no way. Even her husband was like, I didn't even think my soldiers were still marching. I don't know how she got pregnant. She done went through menopause. I mean, how did she have a child after menopause? That messed her husband up. But like I say, Sarah went through menopause. She had a child after menopause. As a matter of fact, as I'm thinking about it, John the Baptist's mother, Elizabeth, she was another woman in the Bible who experienced menopause, but later on she had John. And John's supposed to be 6 months older than Yeshua in so many ways. They supposed to have been like cousins, I believe. You know, we know John the Baptist, Elizabeth, and we know Mary, the story. But yeah, Elizabeth was another woman. You got to really study this Bible. There was other women in the Bible that was healed, and they was able to have children before menopause. See, a lot of women got a lot of complications with their body. There's some women I know that's really been trying to get pregnant, just like what Abram and Sarah was going through. They for some reason they couldn't get pregnant. But so many complications that happen. But when you look in the Bible, you see other women in the Bible who was also healed, and they was able to have children before they went through menopause. It's so much that can happen with y'all bodies, ladies. It's so much. But once again, you treat your body as that living sacrifice to be holy and acceptable. Treat it as that temple. That's why I said earlier, once again, all these drugs that they got out now, man, they got something out now for everything. That's why when you look at abortion, when you look at birth control pills, when you look at these drugs they got out now to try to stop menopause, remember this once again, that every drug has some type of side effect. And the more you put it into your body, the more harm that it could do to your body. When you might be thinking that it's not doing nothing to you, it could actually be killing you. Now, I'm trying to wrap this video up, Sister Head, and I'm looking at your other question. You said, according to the Bible, is it okay for a husband to have sex with his wife while she is on her period, while she is on her menstrual cycle? Now, powerful question. And boy, men talk about this a lot. Because you got men who will have sex with their woman on their period, and then you got men that'll say, it's just too nasty for me to do. She bleeding too much. I don't like all that blood. Such and such this, such and such that. So my answer to that, sister, I have to go back to the Old Covenant. Because that's pretty much where it was stated at. Yes, menstrual cycle is stated in the Bible also. When you go back to Leviticus in the Old Covenant, get around verse 15 and 19. Chapter 15 of Leviticus, verse 19. And it tell you when a woman has her regular flow of blood, the impurity of her monthly period will last 7 days. And anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. So that's showing right there in the Old Testament. Now I'm saying in the Old Covenant, I like to say, it was not good for a husband to have sex with his wife. Matter of fact, move to Leviticus 15 and 24. It says, if a man lies with her and her monthly flow touches him, then he will be unclean for 7 days. Any bed he lies on will be unclean. So that's another scripture that shows you in the Old Covenant they couldn't touch their wives when she was on her cycle. And this is not nasty to talk about, my sister. This is real talk. I mean, that's why I have these real talks. And when you think about Leviticus, it shows so much about everything. As a matter of fact, when you move to Leviticus 20 and 18, it says if a man lies with a woman during her monthly period and has sexual relations with her, I'm just paraphrasing, then he has exposed the source of her flow. And she has also uncovered it. And then it said both of them must be cut off from their people. Now, once again, great questions, my sister, because Old Testament, Old Covenant dealt with blood so much. The blood sacrifice. The Most High required blood for some reason. It was always about blood. Now, some people are going to say, well, that was just in the Old Covenant, bro. That don't apply to us today. And then some people are going to say, well, yeah, it does. If you're going to follow the commandments, follow everything, it wasn't just for Israel, it's for us today. It's each to their own. How you look at it. It's up to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, what decision to make, especially when that's in y'all bedroom, not mine. So, but you pray, you talk it out. And that's between you and the Most High and your spouse, your wife or your husband. But everyone is different, I like to say. Now, me personally as a man, I don't like to have sex with a woman when she's on her cycle. I've done it before. And that could get out of hand in a lot of ways. I'm not trying to say I'm nasty, but I don't like it. But then I got partners who love it. But, so when you think about it, in the old covenant, in the sacrificial system, once again, blood was sacred. Now, you can even back to Leviticus 17 and 11. I'm just giving you these scriptures. You can go look them up on your own time. It says a woman's uncleanness during her period was symbolic of the value placed on blood. So as a result, contact with a woman who was having her period was forbidden. Now, the majority of women that I talk to, they don't like having sex while they're on their period. They'll tell you. That's why for men it get very hard because, man, my girl tripping, man. She on her cycle. She don't want to give me none, man. I'm trying not to, dog. This girl at my job, she up there, man, throwing it at me, man. I'm married, bro. Men have that mentality. Not all men, but the majority. Man, she don't give it up tonight. I'm about to go do something I really don't want to do. But you really do want to do it. So, sister, that's my take, and I hope I've answered your questions. Once again, don't ever be ashamed to ask me no question. I don't care what it is, because like I say, I have done videos on, I don't know, sex, how many times on her, masturbating, I mean, you name it, all sex, pornography, abortion, these topics that the church folks want to skip over. It's an honor for me to do. Because if I can say anything to help somebody as I'm being helped at a lot of people that I look at, especially when we know the things that we talk about in these videos we are dealing with, it helps. We help each other. So this is my little take from a man point of view. I know a lot of men probably will say, I would never do no video like that. But if we're going to be teachers, then we got to teach it. Now, me personally, sister, I believe a video like this will come better from a woman point of view, from a woman. But I'm glad that you had, because I hope I've said something here that most of us men could wake up on, because we need to know. We need to know. So that's my time. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. Take care.